What an absolute gift to be able to go against the Jets, see one of my longtime friends, a couple actually, that I worked with in the past, but to just see two groups that are after the same thing, the effort, straining to get the ball, playing great defense, the run game, all of this stuff is just such a great just a moment for our guys to kind of see them. You know, we go against each other so much, guys start to like really hone in on what each other doing. But to see something different today was fantastic. The energy was electric. It was great. Yeah, let's see, injury wise. Let's see, Chandler Zavala, hamstring. So we're concerned about that one. It feels like it could be a little bit of a longer deal. And he was doing fantastic in this camp. Kenny Dyson with the groin. It seemed like it was a pretty good one too there. So those are the biggest concerns. We had a couple of other guys. You saw Robert Hunt kind of, had a little bit of something, happen to him on a play. They checked him out. They tested his knee. Everything was great. He finished practice. So I think it was more of a scare than that. Scared all of us, not just Rob. And then let's see, Chuba. Chuba went down. We had big concerns there. The initial testing looks pretty good, so they're going to follow up. We'll have more information on him there. And then any other questions on any other guys?
What was the testing on Chuba?
On his knee. It was a testing on his knee, just to make sure everything was stable. It was a real-time collision there. It wasn't a dirty hit. It was two guys faced up on each other, and his foot kind of gave out from underneath him. And so the initial testing was very positive, but we're going to do all the follow-up, make sure that he's fully ready to go before we put him back out there.
Can you tell, was the injury a result of the slip or the hit or some combination?
It looked like it was the slip. It looked like the collision, and he kind of missed a foot. And then that's what it looked like live, kind of just in my mind right now. But again, we'll take a look at it. And the initial testing and all that looked really good. So
Dave, it looked like Terrace Marshall had a good day, but then when you see him catch a touchdown pass and kind of throw the ball at somebody, is that something that's a teaching moment?
Absolutely, it's dumb football. We can't have that. Guys fighting, guys getting into. We want to celebrate with each other. We want to make big plays and give the opponent nothing. This is the exact type of stuff that I've been hitting them on, especially going into this practice. And guys, he got excited, and he made a great play on a really good player. Leave it at that. A great football play. How about we celebrate that? So he and I talked about it out there, and we put it behind us. But it's just these are the moments. It's too hard. Football is too hard. The margins are so tight in this league. You can't afford to give the opponent anything. Not the ball, not a penalty, not anything, not false starts and pre-snap things, aligning offsides. Those are all the things. They're marginally. They just add up and they flip the field, and it makes it even harder. So something we got to continue to work on getting away from.
There's been times throughout this camp where offense seemed to kind of get off to a slow start. That was not the case today. Talk about what you saw from them efficiency-wise.
Seeing a new opponent. So we see our defense every day. We've practiced against our defense all spring and all camp, and our defense is doing great. Our scheme alone is really hard. I've gone against it for years. It's really challenging. They force you to try to run the ball. Good luck with that front. And so they really play you into their hands, and it's hard. And the marginal misses from the quarterbacks, there's guys in areas and guys in space. And so to see somebody else, someone to have a fresh start for the offense, to me, it was a response for the offense to say, hey, we know we've had a couple of slow starts. We've had also some fantastic practices going into the New England week. And so you take your lumps, you have your ups and the downs, and you just keep moving forward, keep pounding, some would say, and you just get to the fundamentals, fix it, show it on tape, try to have just a really objective look at what's happening instead of getting into, bigger things. And so I saw the guys just settle in, execute, play really hard, and it was fantastic.
Dave, Bryce yesterday maybe had a little bit of an up and down day,
Yeah.
some interceptions, but how did you feel like he bounced back today?
I thought he was sharp yesterday. He had 2 interceptions. One he didn't see shy, and then the other one was, learn the lesson. Don't be late outside. So in general, again, compartmentalize the mistakes and say what was the body of work. So today he came out. He was sharp. He was getting us in and out of the huddle. He's accurate. he just shows like that's Bryce. You know, he loves it. You know, when he gets challenged and the stakes rise, that's him. He just stays the same, and he continues to be accurate. And I love the way he handled today.
Dave, one aspect of his passing performance that seems to have gotten better from last year is the fade ball. What's the coaching point on that? Why do you think that's improved?
Simple, up the field to the outside hand and give a guy a chance to make a play. You know, we've had a couple that went off the field, and you know, never in the history of ball was a ball completed out of bounds. And so let's keep it on the track and let our big receivers make plays. We got a bunch of them, a bunch of guys with size, with speed, and strong hands. So I was so glad to see that show up today.
To clarify,
What did it say to get Robert Hunt? That the fact that he wanted to come back out there.
Yeah, that's the message for the team, right? What can you practice with? What can you play with? Let's do that. Let's push the envelope there. It says something. He sends a message as a veteran guy to say, no, I'm okay. Making sure we're all being really smart about it and say, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Knowing yourself, knowing who you are, getting back out there to take advantage of the work that we're doing.
to follow up on that last question, the squares and the corners of the end zone, does that have to do with the fade? What does that have to do with?
Yeah. So we're trying to throw back ball fades, trying to get it to those zones, and really just allows the receivers to have that space and make plays on it. You know, so all those little things that we train, the red line, the boxes, throwing to spots in the red zone, all those things kind of attribute to it. And he's accurate to begin with. So.
Dave, just on some of the chippiness.
Yeah.
You know, Dan talked about wanting dogs. I mean, how do you balance the fire that you want to see with the restraint that you need to see on?
Push it to the limit, go all the way to the edge, all the way up, tiptoe and teeter on the edge, and then come back to us. Always come back to us. Celebrate with us. We don't need to disrespect anybody. It's not even about beating the opponent. That's really not what we're out for. We're trying to compete to find our best football, and that's been the message for the group. If it becomes about the other team and you throw a ball there, you say something, it's not even about you anymore. It's not even about you having a great day and growing that way. Now it becomes about you trying to beat the opponents. And if we have to rise ourselves to certain moments, then what happens when you play a team that you're better than? Are we going to just play to their level, or can we just pursue our best? Can we just push ourselves? So again, it's something that we're learning as a whole still.
First team offense.
Any thoughts on who's going to play? Any thoughts on who's going to play on Saturday?
We have to go through today. We have to see how we came out of this practice to just figure out our full numbers to see what we can do in the game. So we'll be telling you guys later in the week, just like last week.
You have a sense, Dave, though? You have an idea which way you're leaning?
I do. But again, who's available? So that's going to kind of dictate a lot of what we want to do.
Dave, how did you may not have seen all the your defense. I imagine you were over the offense.
Yeah.
But how did you feel the defense played? You saw the last drive by Rodgers.
Yeah.
He did pretty well against you guys.
Yeah. I didn't see much. I saw 7-on-7. We looked pretty good there. And then for the most part, I was just kind of making sure we were getting plays in and out on offense and trying to execute there.
Dave, a lot's been made about Austin moving to the center position.
Yeah.
And while it looks like protection's holding up, there have been some low snaps and stuff like that.
Yep.
What's your evaluation of him so far at the position?
I think he's within the realm of like reasonable for really any center, league wide. I've been with a bunch of different centers, and different blocks put a little bit more stress on shotgun snaps, pistol snaps, and things, and that's something that we continue to work through. And it has not been out of the ordinary for like what you would normally see at a center. So I'm really pleased with what Corbs has been doing.
The defense did turn Aaron Rodgers over a couple times, 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
That seems to be in a...
Spoiled the movie. Spoiler alert, I haven't even seen the film yet.
My bad. Well, that would be in the trailer anyway.
All right.
This seems... causing turnovers seems to be an emphasis on the defensive side of the ball this year.
Yeah.
What are the coaching points for that?
Yeah, there's some great stuff. So we, the things that our defensive coaching staff is doing to emphasize attempts on the ball. It's like batting average. The more attempts you have, the more opportunities you're going to get. And so, because it's really small, the percentages are really low to get a fumble punched out. It is. So you just have to have more attempts. You have to have more attempts at the ball than numbers of plays. If we played a 65-play game, your attempts got to be in the hundreds. It's got to be like multiple guys trying to get it out to actually create just 1 or 2. Interceptions come from just guys playing their leverage, having great eyes, and doing their job and coming up with the catch. So huge emphasis. They're doing a great job. They're sick about it. I love it. It's training the offense to really, the last couple of days we've had some interceptions because guys are playing their leverage and guys are following quarterback's intentions, all those things. So it's training both of us, to really be smart about that.
Deontay out today.
Yeah.
Does that kind of change the way you view Bryce's day, that he was able to have that kind of performance without a guy who's been getting a lot of traffic?
I don't really think of it that way. No, I was just really excited to see the guys that we're evaluating, for this team to see if they can help. So I was so excited to see all those guys, make plays today.
Do you have an update on Deontay?
He's really day to day. So, it was something mild. And again, like for him, it's like, all right, he's been doing this for a while. So he knows his body. He knows when he can work through like normal soreness and all those things. So we'll be smart about that. But
Similar situation with Xavier Woods, Xavier Leggett, and also Clowney.
Leggett's just continue to ramp him up, just with, the foot soreness that he was having. Clowney, same thing, we just got to continue to get him a great day of work and then kind of just take care of him for the long haul. He's been in a lot of camps. We want to make sure he's in great shape for the season and getting the reps, for the learning. And Xavier Woods' groin was a little bit more serious than we thought. So he's a couple of weeks. I can't remember exactly how many, but it was we were really hoping it was just kind of just some general soreness, but there is a strain in there, so he'll be a couple of weeks.
What about Dane? Dane Jackson?
Yeah, Dane's was a significant hamstring, so we're looking at 6 weeks-ish on that.
When you say Bryce was sharp, what's the best example you could think of you saw today of that?
Oh, get to the next progression. Even on the play where Chuba got hurt, it's just like don't have it react, bang, right back into the middle field in the rhythm of the play. The rushers were coming, and for him to be able to function in that setting was fantastic.
Dave, big picture, what can you get out of these joint practices that you can't get out of a preseason game, and then vice versa? What do you need to see in a preseason game that you can't see?
Yeah, I think so. We're able to control the volume that we throw at our guys, and we say, hey, this group needs to be pushed. Then Robert and I say, all right, well, we can let this drive play out, or this is pretty good. Let's cap it here. So you can kind of you can do like kind of a la carte, practice, if you will, with some of the things. They didn't have a long snapper, so we punted. We weren't kicking our field goals today, so they did. Like it was being able to take those different parts of specific to where we are at for this day is so huge. And then again, just doing it with teams that have different scheme is so valuable for us because they play a different style of football from a systematic standpoint. So it's good for our eyes to see different things.
Last question from Caleb.
Thanks. There's been a rise in the number of quarterbacks who have had to start games in the last 3 years.
Yes.
I wonder if you've had conversations with your staff about that and how it might change the way or affect how you're thinking about structuring your quarterback room as a whole.
Yeah, it's a great question, and I think that it behooves all of us to utilize that third quarterback potential, call-up guy. I can't remember the specific term, but basically just when you have someone that you can trust to be available in an emergency situation, like it's a good deal. So we just have to look at the roster and try to make sure we do that. And Jack and Jake are showing us, they're going to be able to show us every day, whether they can be that guy, and we'll give them all the opportunities we can to do that. All right. Thank you. Have a good day.